Hey, everybody. Good evening. It is Ellen Lewis from Crazy for You. And tonight I want to share with you 3 new yarns from Noro. These are their new yarns for fall winter 2022. And I think they have a really pretty selection this year. So the 3 yarns are Malvinas, Haunui Silk, and Kashirukuru. That's a mouthful, isn't it? The first one that I want to talk about is Malvinas. Okay, so let me show you what it looks like. So this is Malvinas. And I picked black to show you to kind of demonstrate what I love about this yarn. So let me first get to the specifics. So as I said, Malvinas is 100% wool. It's heavy worsted weight, so the ball band says 16 to 18 stitches over 4 inches, and it's put up in 300-gram barrels, they call this, and 328 yards, 100% wool. So it's a bit like Kurion in a solid color, right? So, we think of Noro as being all about colors and all about the stripes. But really, this season, I think they've gone a different way, and the colors that they're showing are sort of semi-solid, but they're very, very intense, okay? So, oh, hey, everybody. Nice to see you. Hi, Gwen. Hey, AC from New Jersey. Welcome. You're new. We are glad to have you. Thank you. Hi, Rita. Hey, Polly. Hey, Sandy. Jal. So nice to see you guys. Thank you for joining me. So this Malvinas, as you can see, it's black. Now, I don't know if you've ever knitted with black or if you've ever been looking for black yarn. Sometimes it's kind of black. Sometimes it's sort of a grade black. It's very hard to find a truly intense black yarn, but they really nailed it with this one. So the Malvinas is very, very black. All of the colors are super intense, and I'll show you the palette in a minute, but I wanted to show you kind of what it looks like as I swatched it. So my methodology on all of these was to swatch them. They all have kind of the same gauge, 18 to 16 stitches over 4 inches. So I started with a 7, and I did a 7, 8, 9, and 10. And that kind of took me from 18 on the 7 to 16 on the 10. Your mileage may vary, according to how you knit, but I just want to show you how the fabric looks at those different gauges. So I did that for every single yarn. The other thing I did is I only blocked half of my swatch. So you can see when I show you, some of the swatch is all nice and smooth and even, and the other part is kind of bunchy. So now that I'm showing you this black, it probably wasn't the best choice for showing you the swatching, but I did want to get across the intensity of that color, and I think it really shows up in the black. So let me go ahead and show you this, if I can get this to work out. Hey, Patty. Hey, Karen. Hey, Danette. So question here from Patty, is it color fast? So I do steam blocking, as most of you know. And when I hit this black Malvinas with the steam, and I do it with a white washcloth, I had no color transfer at all. Okay. I don't wet block my things. All right. That is just something you need to know about me. Unless it's lace and it really needs to be opened up, I never wet block anything. So I always steam block. And with the steam block, I didn't have any transference of color. So color fast, yes. If you are going to make something with multiple colors, I would definitely recommend that you do a little swatch in your 2 colors and then block it in the way that you plan to block it, or, give it a little wash in the way you plan to wash it. Okay. If there is any transference of color, if you have a light and a dark and you find that they do meld, and that would be, you would need to get that dry cleaned. So this is 100% wool. It is not a superwash wool. All right. So let's have a look here at my swatch. Okay, so here is my swatch. It doesn't look as dark until I put my hand over it that you can see. Isn't that funny how the light goes? But I thought at 18 stitches over 4 inches, it's definitely stiff. I did not find this particularly pleasant to knit at this gauge. Um, it was tight and the fabric is stiff. And you can see that it's curling a great deal more even after I blocked it. Things curl more the tighter they're knit. So it's curling a lot more over there. But when I got onto the 8, the 9, and the 10, I found this to be a very, very nice fabric. Even at this, you can see that it's maybe slightly loose. You can see through it a smidge. But that's only if you stretch it. And you see blocked, it's very, very smooth. Now you will notice that like most, like 90% of your Noros, it is a single ply and it has a bit of that thick and thin characteristic. So it is a little on the rustic side, which I love. I mean, that's something that I love about Noro is that thick and thin. But I do like it somewhere between, say, 16 and 17 stitches to 4 inches. So that, all right, let's see what Christy has to say. Yes, I don't let block you. Yep. We can have, I think I did a whole podcast on the whole blocking thing. So let me show you the colors that it comes in because they are just gorgeous. Very, very intense colors. So when you think about, say, Kurion, it also has intense colors. And these colors of Malvinas kind of mimic and mirror the colors that you see in Kurion. And it's a beautiful partner for Kurion. Look at that. Look at that green. Isn't that lovely? So it is a little, the palette is a little heavy on the green this season with this acid green, this kind of golf pants green, maybe, I don't know. And then this beautiful teal, but really, really lovely, intense colors. And then there is that black, which is blacker than black. So if you've been looking for something that's truly black and you haven't been able to find it, this is definitely the way to go. So a lot of the patterns in the Noro magazine this year use Malvinas and Kurion together. So it really is kind of a perfect partnership if you want to break up that striping in the Kurion with the Malvinas. It's at about the same gauge and it knits just the same way. So very, very, very pretty. I liked it a lot. I enjoyed knitting with it. It is not the softest yarn I have never ever knit with, but it does have a very nice hand. It's springy, it's smooth. You know, like I said, very nice to work with. So the next, any questions on that? Go ahead and put them in the chat if you do. Sandy, yeah, the colors are really, I think, what sells this yarn. It not only goes with Kurion, it goes beautifully with Ito. In the shop, I have it put up with the Ito, and it really gives a nice sort of break to the Ito, which is, you know, as you know, 200 grams, and it is 36 colors per skein. And this Malvinas next to it kind of gives a little relief. So if you have ever thought about doing a stripe and a solid, this would be a great pair. Whether you pair it with Kurion or with Ito, it would be lovely for both. All right, so moving on, I want to show you Haunui Silk. So if you read the newsletter this past week, I talked about Haunui Silk and the last one, Kashirukuru, because they are just beautiful blends. Let me get a close-up of this hank. So can you see that the silk and the Haunui wool are just kind of slightly, they're not completely blended together, right? So this is put up in 150 gram hanks, and it has 360 yards per 150 gram hank. And again, it has that same gauge of about 16 to 18 stitches over 4 inches. And let me tell you, this is absolutely a dream to knit with. If you tried the Haunui last year, you know that it's a gorgeous, silky, smooth wool from a specific breed of sheep and a traceable flock in New Zealand. Really lovely stuff. So as a wool, has a very long staple. It's very lustrous. And what they did is put silk in this, and it just makes it really dreamy. They have not dyed this yarn at all. So the colors that are available in the Haunui silk are all the natural colors of the Haunui sheep breed plus undyed white silk. So let me show you the colors real quick. Want to share my other screen. Hang on. Sorry, give me a minute. Here we go. Okay, so you can see that the colors of Haunui silk. So you remember that we had the almost solid white Haunui, and then with the silk, you get that, beautiful natural ecru look. And then there was the kind of pale sort of grayish with the white, and then the sort of a little bit darker creamy with it, and then the brown and the almost black. So you can see that with the paler colors, you get more of a monochrome, and with the darker colors, you get more of a marl in that, right? So let me show you also the swatch for this. Okay, so here is my swatch of the Haunui silk. Oh my gosh, I wish you could feel this because it's so lustrous. And you see I blocked the right side and I did not block the left side. But can you see that you can sort of see the bits of silk in it? It feels amazing, just gorgeous. And I love how, again, it is a little bit of an uneven sort of spin. You can see that in the hank. The yarn is a little thick and thin, and that shows up in the fabric. But you really do sort of get the best of both on that. The silk and the colors. This is so lovely. I would make a sweater, a pullover out of this. And it has great stitch definition. You can see your stitches really nicely. And there isn't any tendency of it to bias. I know with a single ply, sometimes we worry about the yarn biasing, but I did not notice any of that, especially here on my blocked side. So it really does have a nice bloom when you block it, and it's very, very pretty. What's so fabulous about this yarn is the feel of it. I mean, the colors are lovely, but the feel of it is just, it's really, really gorgeous. And next week I'm going to be showing, did I say this already? Next week I'm going to be showing I have the trunk show for all the new magazine. So I'll be showing all the garments from that. So that'll be fun. So you get to see the things that are knit. They have a really cute long tunic in it with a cowl neck. And I love a cowl neck. So really, really pretty. So that is Haunui silk. Very pretty, again, very traceable. I love the way Noro is so careful about their sourcing of their fibers. And Haunui is one of those where it's fully traceable. You know exactly where that wool came from. All right, so the last one that I want to show you is Kashirukuru. Okay, Kashirukuru. It's definitely a mouthful, but this is a gorgeous blend of cashmere. I wrote it all down. There's like 5 different things in here. 40% silk, 30% wool, 20% cashmere, and 10% polyamide. Now, as you know, like I said, if you read the newsletter, or any of the things that I've written over the years about blending of fibers, you know that they are listed in the order of predominance by weight. So even though there's only 20% cashmere in this, cashmere is a much lighter unspun fiber than wool. So the amount of cashmere in there is more than you would think by volume. So it really does have an impact on the yarn and the feel of it. So Kashirukuru has its 75, it's put up in 75-gram hanks. Let me get you closer. So it's very, very pretty. Again, it has a little bit of that thick and thin, and has exactly the same gauge, 16 to 18. So like I said, I swatched it on the same needles. They say size 7 to 8. I went up to a 10 to get the 16 on this. So let me go ahead and show you my swatch on it. Hello, where are you, little swatch? There it is. Okay. So I always start with a smaller needle when I swatch. I start with the smallest needle I'm going to swatch with. I guess you can probably tell that I started with the Malvinas because I have a big swatch, and then I realized I'm going to run out of time to swatch all of these if I make this huge swatch. So anyway, here is the Kashirukuru. Again, it has a little bit of that thick and thin, which shows up texturally in the fabric. So really pretty. And then with that little bit of cashmere, you can see that it has bloomed quite a bit in the blocking, right? Here it maybe looks just a smidge open, but over here you can see that those stitches have really plumped up and blossomed out, even at this, at this larger gauge. I think that this particular fiber feels a little loose at this gauge. I probably like it better, a little bit tighter. Again, this is about 18. I probably like it at about 18, maybe a little bit looser, but I think up here you might find that it's a little floppy for a cardigan. It would be great, if you wanted a, really soft and drapey sweater or a shawl. But for a sweater, I think you would want the structure at this little tighter gauge. But really pretty. Again, very pronounced thick and thin on this. Great stitch definition, beautiful hand. Just an absolutely glorious to knit with, just really pretty. And I'll show you the colors that comes in. Hang on. Bring this over. All right, so these are the colors that it comes in. It comes in 8 colors, and they're all really, really pretty. They are not as intense as the Malvinas colors, but they are still very bright and vibrant. Really, really lovely colors. I love this blue, this Pacific. Of course, I love this pink. I mean, really, there's not one in there that I don't love. I think they're all really terrific. So I'm interested in your thoughts on, what do you think about the fact that Noro has solids this season? Are you excited about that? Do you miss the stripes? I mean, there's still all the other yarns in the line that are stripy. Me personally, let's see. I'm loving number 75 Capri. Yes, isn't that pretty? Let me show that again. Yes, Capri, this one is really, let me see if I can bring that up larger. That didn't seem to help. There we go. messing with this. There we go. Okay, that's a little better, isn't it? Yes, 75 Capri is really beautiful. Meredith, yes, of course, that pink. It is a beautiful pink. And I will tell you that that pink is very much on trend this season. You know, you've seen that whole Barbie world kind of theme. That pink is such a huge fashion trend. Not that any of us is like really trendy, but if you are looking to maybe bring a little more current into your wardrobe, just a little something in that pink would absolutely do it. Would definitely be a nod to that particular trend. Let's see. Move this all down. There we go. All right. Hey, nice to have you from Canada. Great. Let's see. What size needle did you say you liked the best for? Okay. So for that one, I really did kind of like the 7 or the 8 on this. This is the Kashirukuru. I started on a 7 and I thought that was just fine. You know, I don't think it needs to be any tighter. I didn't feel that it was curling too much. Can you see the difference in the side that I blocked and the side that I didn't? Blocked, unblocked. So I liked this on a 7, maybe on an 8, but that's the needle size I used. So I would say that this yarn is the best somewhere in the range of 18, maybe even 19. That's what I like. Yes, it would be so fun to use the solids and the stripes together. There are a lot of patterns from back in the day. Jane Ellison was a master of this, as was Jenny Watson, of using 4 rows of the stripe and then 4 rows of a solid. She had done some where she did 2 different colorways, but one of the most, I think, striking was where you had the 4 rows of something with a narrow stripe, like an Ito, and then 4 rows of a solid. I think that just looks really, really cute because you still get the effect of the stripes of stripes, but it is broken up, and I think it maybe is a little more fun, you know, and plus you can pull out a particular color that you want to focus on when you use a solid with it. So yeah, I totally agree. Like garnet and mulberry. Yeah, those are beautiful, aren't they? Jeanette, I thought you were a blue girl. Let's see. Hello from Idaho. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. All right, AC. Okay, so AC, tell me which stripes you like best. What's your favorite Noro self-striping yarn? Okay, are you a Silk Garden classicist like I am, or do you like some of the more crazy ones? Let's see. Yeah, so you're talking about Jenny Watson and Jane Ellison. Yeah, she was a classic designer for Noro. I love her stuff. Love her stuff. So, all right. Well, I think that these are great yarns. And as I said, next week on Friday, this week on Friday, I have the in-person Noro trunk show at the shop with the event. And if you attend that, you get a little tasting of each of these 3 new yarns and a copy of the new Noro magazine. And I will have something like that available also on the website where you can get a copy of the magazine and a tasting if you are not local to see. And then you can also catch the trunk show next Wednesday at this time. I'll be doing live from the shop. I'm going to have to find a volunteer to help me try on all of the clothes so that I can show you what they look like on real people, because I love to show that. The models are all beautiful, but they're all 6 feet tall and they weigh 85 pounds. So I think it's nice to sort of see what the garments look like on real people. So try to do that. And if you are interested in maybe participating in that, send me an email and I would love to have you do that. Yeah, so if you are local and you have a chance to come on Friday, go ahead and sign up for that and you can get and I'm giving away great prizes at that event. That's going to be super fun. So I have 2 Noro Afghans to give away. So that's a kind of a big deal for that evening. So I'm excited about that. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Hey, Terry, greetings. All right, Kat, greetings, greetings. Oh, you are the one that got the Noro heart blanket. How's that coming? I would love to see a picture of that sometime. Go ahead and send that. That's one of my favorite projects from Noro. So super fun. And Sonia, hi, Sonia. You haven't tried Noro. Oh my goodness. So you can order, if you want to, you can order the new Noro tasting kit, or you can order the full-on Noro tasting kit, and that'll give you a little tasting of all of the current Noro yarns in there for their winter line, which is a really fun way to kind of get a sense of Noro. So do that, and yeah, then you can try them and see what they're like. But don't decide that you do it or don't like it until you've knit it and blocked it. Give it a good steam. So after you've knit a little swatch, I like to take and put it on a blocking board. I use the Cocoa Knits blocking board, cover it with a wet washcloth and hit it with a hot iron. And then you force that steam in there, and it makes those fibers open up and bloom into just absolutely beautiful wonderfulness. Yes. Love the crazy one. Silk Garden, I just love. Yep, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Okay, ladies, so it's been wonderful to be with you tonight, and thank you for watching, and I hope to see you, if you're local, I hope to see you Friday for the trunk show, and if not, I look forward to sharing the trunk show with you next week on this podcast. If you are not already subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe. If you enjoyed this, give this video a thumbs up. Make a comment. I would love to hear from you, because I do respond to every single comment on my videos, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. So until next time, keep knitting and create something beautiful. Good night. Boop, my dog.